Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with, you may actually know Tyler. He's done some articles for Rogue Deck Builder in the past. He's also was a winner of, was it the first Rogue Master Brewer?
I believe so.
And I did not mess with the votes at all. He legit won it. But he is a friend of mine, and we've known each other for quite some time, even through the past local game store. Yeah. And Tyler is one of our premier brewers here. So we're going to show his deck. First, I'm going to show my deck that I played for today's Standard Showdown. Hopefully your local game store is doing the Standard Showdowns. They are prize packs that Wizards gives to local game stores to hand out for doing a Standard tournament. And I thought I'd just try to build a casual deck. I didn't want to really spike it up for a Standard Showdown. And Tyler's known for making kind of the off the beaten path, even a lot more wackier than me. I need to get back to my roots. What ends up happening at my store is when people play a tier 1 deck, I usually try to counter it with another, not a tier 1 deck, but a deck that can beat a tier 1, and I know that I can beat it. But it's fun to always just try a deck idea and go with it. And I've liked Splendid Reclamation. I've wanted to try Splendid Reclamation with the Psycho Lands to see how well it does. And I have made this deck before in the past. I don't know if I've ever showcased it on the channel. But what it tries to do is it tries to get a Hellkite in the graveyard, and then you need to reanimate it back, or you can hard cast it. I mean, hard cast is fine, but usually it's just better to reanimate 2 of them with Ever After. And then you cast a Splendid Reclamation for lethal. So you're trying to get a ton of lands in the graveyard. So we're running 28 lands. Basically all of them are mountains, except for the Game Trails and the Foreboding Ruins, as well as just 2 swamps. So, again, you're going to be getting rid of your lands quite often on turn 2 with, like, the Tormenting Voice. We have the Fork in the Roads that also can go get basic lands and put 1 in your graveyard. So this is where I typically go grab a swamp and put a mountain in the graveyard. And then you have a lot of the control elements are going to be the Lightning Axe and Fiery Tempers. And then sideboard, we have a lot more option for going against more aggressive decks like the Nahiri's Wraths and the... Avacyn's Judgment's okay to divide damage, as well as the Sweltering Suns and Magma Sprays. Basically, the only other deck that I have a sideboard against is Torrential Gearhulk. So I'm hoping that if you go up against Torrential Gearhulk, they'll side out all their Magma Sprays and those type of cards, and then Dragon the Master Outcast can kind of slip in, and then they won't have a way to deal with it, and that's our way of trying to combat those type of decks. One of Dispossess and hopefully Collective Brutality can just rip out some key counter spells. It's going to be a bad matchup regardless. So, anyway, this is... Omnath is the other reanimation spell, and I actually did add a Bedlam Reveler and cut... I think I cut 2 Fork in the Roads because they just weren't working out as... If you get multiples, they're not as good, even though you can ditch them. But you really do want to use your Tormenting Voids and Cathartic Reunions to ditch lands as much as possible. Liliana is also pretty good on turn 5 to either reanimate a creature back or just +2 Liliana or +1 Liliana, and then you can mill yourself some more and then try to hit like a Hellkite and a Splendid Reclamation. So, yeah, that's my deck, and I had some success with it. It's pretty fun. If it's something that you enjoy, kind of a Valakut in Standard, this is kind of the, I don't know, the Escape Shift type, modern type deck. This is the best I've been able to come up with as far as a bunch of lands triggering. So, yeah, that is my deck. And then Tyler showed up with this juicy brew, if I can find what I did with it. Which is, I guess, we can... What do we do with it?
Did you name it the Second Sun? The
Second Sun. Okay, there it is. All right, so this is Tyler's brew, which is trying to cast Approach the Second Sun as the win con. So let's just go down your list here. It's a Marvel deck, so let's just get the usual suspects out of the way with Aether Hubs and Attunes. So what's Gonti's Machinations in here for?
It has a really good synergy with Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. Gets you the energy from losing life if you use it to draw a card, and then...
So this becomes a Dark Confidant if you have if you don't understand that, because
yeah.
this will lose a life from the Glint-Sleeve Siphoner and then give you an energy, and if you're attacking in, that means you're getting 2 energy per turn to help dig for what you need.
Yeah.
Servant and Wooded Puzzleknot, those are basically Marvel.
More energy, and then some life gain as well, which this deck has a lot of.
Yep, lots and lots of life gain. I think one game that I played Tyler with the deck you saw, I did over 80 damage to him and still lost the game. So, that was
fun.
Yep. Gift of Paradise. Just
Yeah,
more life gain and ramp.
Some ramp.
Yeah, this is a key card in his deck. Usually when he did get the Gift of Paradise, it allowed for the Marvel. If you're kind of left in the dark of how this works, is Marvel, you spin Marvel, cast Approach to the Second Sun, throw Approach to the Second Sun back 7 down, untap, and then you spin Marvel again. So you need 12 energy. So spin Marvel. Yeah, before you draw. That's very key because you need Approach to the Seventh Sun on your draw then. And then you have the mana a lot of times to then cast the Approach of the Second Sun.
Yep.
So what about some alternate win cons in here? You got a juicy one in here for sure.
Yeah, Defiant Bloodlord is my alternate win con. It's pretty cool with Providence, actually. That's why I thought of bringing it in. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life.
Yep, so if you're low, Providence, you spin the Marvel, for example, you're about to, you're down to, what was one game? You were down to a 1, right? And then Providence off of it, yep. And that does 25 damage off of the Defiant Bloodlord when it comes back in. Providence is juicy too because if you reveal it your opening hand, you start at 26. So it gives a lot of padding when you're gaining 6 life from the Puzzleknots, 3 life from the Gift of Paradise. Got some arrow responders just to kind of just play the chump blocker.
Yeah, I like to be able to extend the game out so I can draw into approaches too, rather than have to rely on Marvel. Usually I have enough life that you can have quite a few extra draws throughout the game.
Yep, so for example, if you cast Approach and have like a Siphoner that you're getting 2 draws per turn, you're going to get into it pretty quickly. So it actually was surprisingly good. I mean, it works out quite well.
Even the games I lost, it was 2-1 losses. I didn't get 0-2.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Yeah, nice little synergy with everything in the deck. Again, Tyler seems to be a little more combo player than me, I would say, on average.
Probably.
He's killed me some very spectacular ways over the years when I think that I'm fine, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'm dead. So sideboard. We have the Dispossess in here for
Torrential Gearhulk.
Torrential Gearhulk, because, yep, its counter decks are definitely tough.
We do pretty poor against that deck.
And then we have some crowd control with Cataclysmic Gearhulk and Fumigate. As these are... the go-wide strategies theoretically can get enough creatures on the board to, even after a Providence or off of Approach the Suns and gaining a lot of life, they can probably dish out enough damage to put you under pressure for lethal every turn. So these just sweep enough of those cards.
The black-green creatures that Fumigate's good for.
Yeah, black-green.
Because they can get some big creatures.
So the Verders, Gearhulks, and those, Yep. And then we have Noxious Gearhulk and Sorin, which are better at spot removal and kind of the bigger creatures.
Sorin also has life gain as well. And then we have a lot of high mana cost cards for his +1 for some extra damage.
Yeah.
It's sort of another win con.
Yeah, Sorin hitting a Defiant Bloodlord or a Providence or any of these is 7 damage.
Yeah. I like to bring Sorin in when I know somebody's going to try to dispossess my Marvel, so I still have something to win with. Some more.
Yeah, same thing if they even use Lost Legacy for one of the other. Yep, you have multiple win cons, so you just don't get blown out.
Yeah.
Yep. So all in all, this is a very, very juicy brew. So kudos for Tyler for joining me and showcasing his deck. We will have the cards or the deck list in the description below. And soon, one of these days, hope this weekend, I'm working with a web developer, and we hopefully will have deck lists. The capability to have deck lists on Rogue Deck Builder. So actually the website will be useful instead of just kind of copy and pasting kind of my videos on there.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
We'll do the Rogue Master Brewer coming up as well. Just trying to put some finishing touches on things, then we'll be back in business for holding that competition. So definitely sleeve up those Rogue Brews and get them ready for the Rogue Master Brewer competition. This has been Kevin. And my buddy Tyler.
Tyler.
With here at Gondro Games, I think you can see Zach in the back being weird as usual.
Zach's here too.
He wasn't even in here till we started taping, and he's like, I gotta look like I'm busy. Derpa derpa. Anyway, thanks for watching.